Hey y'all, welcome to the Conversations Lounge podcast. I'm Stephanie, your host, where we have real conversations with real people about real life. And today I popped up in Atlanta on Benzino, a hip hop pioneer and a TV reality star.
Hey, what's up, Steph?
Welcome,
Hi.
welcome.
So, how you doing, Steph?
All right, how you doing?
Good. It's good to be here.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure, all man.
All right, well, let's tell the people.
Let's get right into it.
Yes, let's get into it. Tell the people who is Benzino.
Oh man, okay. Who's Benzino?
Yes, who is Benzino?
Benzino is a half Cape Verdean, Puerto Rican man out of Roxbury, Dorchester, Boston, Massachusetts. A lover, like I'm in love with hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Very real serious about the hip hop culture. I have a rebellious type of spirit. So as far as with Black culture and the history of Black people and the struggle and stuff like that. So I definitely would consider myself a revolutionary in my, I grew up in Boston. So, and I'm also a father. I'm a rapper, producer.
Just everything.
I'm a chef.
Oh, okay.
Cook well, yeah.
All right. So, where your headspace at today? This morning, like?
That's a good question, man. I'm amazing. It really is. God is really amazing. God is real, and my journey is a long one, and it's a pretty kind of, I would say, interesting one. But where I'm at today and at this moment, I'm in a very, very good mood.
So what do you do to start your day? Like, what do you got to have to start your day? Like with me, I either got to have coffee, tea, and I got to have my music.
All right. Well, I always get up. I make my smoothie the night before. I'm gonna give you my recipe for my smoothie. It's all right. So I'll take yams and put it in the microwave.
Oh, yams?
I'll take one yam and put it in the microwave, right?
I never heard of that before.
Yeah, okay. And with the skin, you know what I'm saying? I wash it, but with the skin. And then I'll put plant protein. I've been using plant protein. I changed from whey protein because whey protein gets a little thick. So plant protein is more natural, more digestible. Then I'll put kale, baby spinach, ginger, frozen fruit, a banana, oats. I'll put the yam once it's soft in there now. Sliced up green apple.
Wow, yeah, that's like a real whole meal.
Yes, every morning I drink that. That's the first thing I do.
Every morning?
Every single morning.
I never had anything. I never thought to use a yam in a smoothie.
It kind of acts as like it fills you up a little more. So the morning, because some smoothies you drink and you still be hungry. So the yam kind of takes away, and the oats. The yam and oats kind of take away that. Then I don't know if I can say this, but I take my little.
Say what you gotta say.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
What you gotta do.
Okay, I smoke my blunt. I get up, I smoke my blunt, and then kind of just like make some phone calls and see what's going on for the next couple of hours, and I'll go straight to the gym.
Go to the gym.
And the gym is my sanctuary.
Oh, okay. So you're a morning person then?
Not
necessarily. No, morning or night? You a morning or night out?
You know what? It really fluctuates. My entire okay. So let's say now I had to go to Fort Lauderdale pick up my son, and so I got up at 6 in the morning and I went and got him, and we had a layover, so I had to wait for almost, and I had to pick him up. So I was up almost, and then by the time I got back yesterday morning, almost out of a 45-hour window, maybe 4 hours I got sleep.
Oh wow!
So but I've been used to that. Like my life's been night, my life's been mornings, and it I just want
Okay. So when you're not working, what are you doing when you're not working?
I love to cook. I love to cook, especially seafood. And
I love crab legs.
I love to watch cooking shows, like the ones that travel.
Oh,
I'm in love with them shows. I've been watching them for years and years. I've learned so much, not just with food, but just, culture in different areas of the world. And, I love sports, basketball, football. I love keeping up with basketball.
Well, who your team? Who your favorite team? Or do you don't have a favorite team?
No, I'm from Boston.
That's what I was going to say. The Boston Celtics?
Celtics, Patriots, Red Sox, Bruins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everything Boston. You know, Boston, we home of champs. We got so many champions.
But since you said that, what city feels more like home to you?
Other than Boston, well, you know what? Well, you know what? That's a great question, man. That's some good questions because Boston will always be home, but I've lived in New York for a while. I've lived in Miami for like 8, 9 years. I think I've here in Atlanta for like 11 years. So I've LA and Houston, maybe a year apiece. So I've been over living, but you know, I would say right now, Atlanta feels like home. And
Okay, because
it's
that's what I want to
weird.
say. So
Yeah.
Boston is number 1, Atlanta is number 2,
Yeah,
Miami
yeah.
is number 3.
Well, you know what? It's almost like it's like once you go there and you establish yourself with the community and different people, it's almost just like wherever you go is just I believe that if you can get out of your comfort zone and where you grew up and everything, it's good just to travel and explore different places. And if you can live in different places, that's amazing. I'm telling you.
Right, because they saying that sometimes you do better when you leave your hometown.
Yeah, it all depends, you know, because well, I mean, that was my case. You know, I grew up in the streets and everything, so my case was probably like a lot of guys' cases. If I didn't leave there, I might have been locked up. I might have been, you know, fatally, you know. So,
I get that.
yeah. When you grow up in that life, it's always good to kind of move around, anyways. But since I've been in this business for a long time and going on tours and just jumping in the van and going to different cities to get my music played and or going to different cities to hustle. I've always just, you know, like Detroit. I used to go to Detroit in the 80s to hustle.
Oh, okay.
And New York, my father's from New York, so all my grandmother and grandfather came from the Bronx and Brooklyn. So I was back and forth from Boston to New York, like, you know, New York was like right there. So, you know, it's good if you can experience because it's such a big world. And even within our country, even if you can't get out the country, just different cities are amazing.
They got different things to offer.
And they're different, right? They're different to experience. Don't get stuck just where you're from.
One place.
Right,
Yeah. So since you talking about back in the 80s and back in the day, I'm gonna take it back to my era.
Come
I first,
on with it.
You know, found out about you, you know, on the well, we didn't have internet then, but you know, the TV, and it was the Source magazine.
Absolutely.
And you was the social media. You was it.
I appreciate that.
You was like that. It was like you had to get that.
I don't want to take, of course, all the credit we had. My partner Dave Mays is the one that discovered it.
Okay.
Yeah, David Mays. He's out of D.C. I met him, and he was going to Harvard, and I was pretty much in the streets of Boston. Fate had us meet, and next thing you know, the Source was made out of a one piece of paper at the radio show at Dave's college. It was 2 hours, yeah. And he had made it. It was a one piece of paper, it had KRS-One like in a little black and white picture. And his vision, it was 1988, his vision was he'd seen how Rolling Stone was covering rock music and how the magazine was huge with advertising.
Right.
He wanted to emulate that.
Oh, with the hip hop.
With hip hop. And he had a vision. And even like back then, hip hop was, they said it was born in 73. So 88, that's 15 years. So 15 years of hip hop growing, it was just the right time to where it had to be covered. And it was so territorial that if there wasn't like a magazine or some platform, you wouldn't know who's the hot guy in LA. You wouldn't know what's up with the Chicago. You wouldn't know what's up with down south. So the Source and the Source Awards managed to make it to where when hip hop was growing, we was able to get in and kind of help it grow more by highlighting the hottest artists, the culture, the politics, the music, and you know, we kind of set a standard for hip hop. It was a standard. That's what's missing now.
Yeah, you did, because it's crazy. I got a story for you.
Okay.
So this is a long time ago in 2003, right? I was down in Atlanta for a little while, and it was my first time, like, you know, clubbing in Atlanta.
Okay.
So back then they had like, you get one wristband, right? And you could just hop around. Was that on Piedmont or something, or downtown?
I mean, you know, like the wristband thing came in like around before 2000s, a little more than that, but yeah, you know, I mean, people just want to, you know, because that's the money and that's going to determine where you go and what you get in. Right?
So I was down there, and the first club I walked into I had seen he was an actor. I think he played on Why Did I Get Married? Is it Michael J. White? I don't want to
Okay, Michael J. White. Oh yeah, I know you're talking
Yeah,
about. Yep.
so he was in there. I seen him. So that was, that was like awkward for me. Not awkward, but just like, wow, I'm here in the
You seeing
mix.
stars. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. That's
So,
dope.
and I was young. So then when I came out, it was Pharrell's bus. He was getting off the bus. And then when I looked across the street, it was you.
Really?
Yes, it was you.
2003. So we had that's when I think I had rocked the party. Maybe I'm not sure.
I'm trying to
You know
think.
what I'm saying? Yeah, because
Was it in a matter of fact, it was around the beginning. I remember it might have been around May or June of '03.
Wow.
That was around the time I came, and I was like, wow. And then, the
That's
Source
pretty,
and
for
the
real?
Source Award. Yes.
Wow, that's pretty
So
dope.
that's where I learned you from before, what we about to get into.
I appreciate that.
The love of hip hop.
I appreciate your knowledge because a lot of people don't, a lot of people know me just from loving hip hop.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like there was, but people, because of the internet, it almost like life started at the internet for a lot of people. Like life started. And they don't realize there was so much history and so before that. And they would never know. So I appreciate you.
Yeah. That's where I know you from is the Source.
Okay.
The magazine, the Source Awards.
Shout out to the Source and everybody at the Source.
Shout out to the Source Awards.
Well,
it was some great shows.
Yeah, no. We had, believe me, great shows, iconic moments, but believe me, a lot of stress.
I believe it. So with me saying that, in which I see that you just said you don't take a lot of credit, but I was going to ask you, do you feel like you get your credit? Do you feel like you getting your flowers? Do you feel, I'm not saying like you, because some people don't want to.
I never really took time, anything I've ever did or accomplished, to really take too much time to worry about the credit of it. Because it was so much happening that I really didn't have time for that. I'm a hustler's hustler, so I like to accomplish what can get accomplished. When it works, it's amazing. And sometimes it doesn't work, so you have to do better, but I'm always ready for the next moment. I'm always ready so I'm not really worried. I know at the end of the day, now in my older years, of course, credit is the money.
Right.
But back then, I wasn't worried about credit because I understood, like Dave being the white face, and nothing against, I'm not saying this in any disrespectful means possible. I just understood business back then. Like I was a street kid, and people couldn't understand me and Dave's relationship anyway. Dave came from Harvard. He was administrative. Everybody that wrote the articles all came from college. It wasn't until I really started, with the magazine, getting really with the magazine, to where it's like, okay, I'm understanding the business side of it. I'm understanding, and I had a transition, and it was a lot of learning because I was just somebody that rapped in the street, sold drugs, and put things together. But now with the magazine, I had an opportunity to be creative, and a lot of things like the Source Awards, or the Source Hip Hop Hits that sold 5 million copies, the first compilations. I mean, to see a lot of my ideas and things take fruition was enough for me, and I understood that by Dave getting the credit, it just looked better. It looked better because back then, a lot of these companies, they were still scared of hip hop. So to try to advertise with them was an issue. And by Dave being kind of like getting the credit for everything, and me just kind of, being on the side, and just, it made sense at the time.
Yeah, I get it. But we still knew who you were. Yeah. But so what was the hardest lesson that fame taught you? What is the hardest lesson?
I think the hardest lesson of me going through that is money management. I think like growing up in the hood and hustling all your life, drugs and stuff, you had a way of how you was handling your money and handling your business. Meaning you go to the plug and you get what you got to get. You know what's going to be your profit, okay, and the plug got to get his so you can get more. So automatically, whatever's my profit, I'm just spending. When you take that into business and into later on in life, you don't save, you don't invest. I knew nothing about that. I just knew that the next day I could spend it all now because the next day I'm going to get more.
Get back, yeah.
And so I made a lot of money in that, and I made a lot of mistakes as far as how I was spending it and how I was, because I was helping a lot of people. I was giving a lot of it away, and I just was like running around the country and the world, just spending. I think if I would have had more knowledge about money.
It
You know what
would
I'm saying?
it would have changed.
It would, things would have, but I don't live with regrets because
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a firm believer that, I'm 60, I survived a lot. If any little thing would have changed, who knows if I'd be here sitting talking to you. So you
Right.
got to take the good in life. You're going to have a journey. And every single up, down, and everything, if you're here now, however you are here, if you're healthy, if you're in good mind, body, and spirit,
Mm-hmm.
then you cannot have regrets because any little left or right from your journey, who knows
Yeah, I
what,
get
what
it. I
could
get
have
what you're
happened.
saying.
Yeah.
That's a good narrative. That's how you saying it.
You got to
Is
live
that
and
really
learn.
true?
You got
Yes.
to learn. So I've learned a lot. Even I'm
Mm-hmm.
still learning at 60.
Well, let's talk love and hip hop,
Okay.
like your recent thing.
Love and hip
And yes,
hop.
love and hip hop.
Shout to Chaotic, my guy. Shout to Killer
Listen,
Ken.
yeah, shout out to Chaotic. But look, so you've been in the industry, you dated in the industry before. Because I don't want to say, but I know about the Althea and Carly Red, but before then, I know it's several other people. But
Damn.
I
Wow, that's
no,
you first ever say that. That's crazy.
no,
because,
what? No,
wow,
I didn't. I'm saying
wow.
I know I'm one of the
No,
only people that you dated.
No, I'm saying
But
that.
I want to know
Wow.
about Lil Kim. Is that true? Or well, I don't know.
Yeah, me and Lil' Kim.
Allegedly,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not. Listen, you know what?
Because I don't want to say nothing wrong.
But you know what though? First of all, I'm with somebody now that I love dearly. We've been together. So it's like when I'm talking about these things, I want her because she watches my interviews, and she'll surely watch your interview because she loves. She's like woman power. She's about that. So you know what I'm saying. But everybody's adults, and what I'm saying, me and Kim were really good friends.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And and there was a period of time that we had dated. But the thing was like when you come up in this industry and everything, of course you're gonna run across different women that are in the industry. It's just I was so private about anything I did. Like nobody really knew, and there's what I'm saying, there's a part of my life that I would make sure that I wouldn't, because I wouldn't want her, because she might not want at the time nobody to know or anything. So you have to respect each other's situations. But man, me and Kim were friends and we dated.
Well, okay. So what is it that, because we've seen a lot on Love and Hip Hop, what is it that that the cameras never show about you? That
okay, me. Well, I'm gonna be honest. First of all, I never ever did any reality TV. Me and Stevie Sleezo was in Miami. He would come stay with me. We was rocking before Love and Hip Hop, right? And us two were kind of, especially at that time, we two wild guys. I think that's what kind of, when we met each other, we just hit it off like that. Our chemistry, because he was at Bad Boy. He was kind of like the wild guy at Bad Boy because Diddy had a whole production team called the Hitman.
Oh wow, that's why his name. What is it, Stevie?
Stevie J, Hitman Stevie J. Yeah.
So you was in that circle with Diddy and all of them?
No.
No.
No. Let me explain. You know what I'm saying? Explain.
No. Okay, all right.
Let me explain.
Okay.
So
explain.
Diddy had, first of all, we've done much business with Diddy, with the source. Bad Boy was spending a lot of money on advertising. Man, listen, man. Fan of his music. One of, as far as young black men, one of the, as far as that mogul, he was one of the first ones to be that.
Yes.
There was other men that we kind of knew were moguls, but they wasn't us like. So he was like one of the first times you've seen us be that big in the music industry.
He did that.
As far as being, people don't understand what it really takes to find talent and mold them. And it's one thing you doing it for yourself, but when you see other people and blow them up and make them, that's not an easy thing. Not too many
thank
people
God, because I love Mary J.
Man, come on, I mean, we could go on and on.
Yes,
not just Mary. I mean, Pup's responsible for countless artists. Do you know how hard it is to go platinum? I mean, honestly, you know how hard it is back then to go platinum. Diddy has took artists and made them all platinum. So we have to give the man his just due. I'm not one to here kick anybody down, because Lord knows I came from the streets and there was nothing but a lot of fuck shit going on. You know what I'm saying? But we did what we had to do to survive, and this was our culture, and this was our world. Diddy, whatever Diddy's going through now, it just wasn't about, he's done amazing shit. So when we had the Source and he was spending money with us, it was always love. I did a song with him. Mario Winans, also a part of the Hitmen.
Oh, okay.
Gave me my biggest song, Rock the Party. That was my Billboard charting song. That was my one big song. So when me and Stevie met, it was like he was the wild guy out of the Hitmen.
Oh, okay.
And I was the wild boy of the Source. So we met, we was kicking it. And when I found out he was on Love and Hip Hop, I just came to visit Atlanta like 11 years ago. I just packed up my Beamer, we had like a little home studio. I put some clothes. I came up by myself. I had the whole car filled, I had, in Miami at this point, we're doing Hip Hop Weekly. I had, I had my spot down. I was saying the crazy shit. I was staying at the Trump in Miami. Ain't that some crazy shit?
Yes.
I was staying at the Trump in Sunny Isles. So I had my apartment. I had a compound with a studio. So I was just going up there just to get away for a minute, just to go kick it with him. And I didn't. First of all, when I got up there, he said he had a baby by Mimi, and I knew Mimi. Wow. I was like, oh shit. He was like, man, you kept this from me.
But listen, you bringing up Mimi, because the internet goes way back, and I didn't know her until Love and Hip Hop. But then, they bring up pictures, and it was like Mimi, Carly Red, and is another lady, I can't remember her name, but they was all in pictures, and it was like from back in the day. That's why I was saying, like, I wasn't being funny about the Puffy thing. What I was saying was everybody be in the circle, like hanging.
Well, it's a big industry, and then there's separate circles.
Okay.
That's what it is.
I don't know.
Yeah, no. It's the music industry, but there's separate circles.
Okay.
And like I said, when I met Sleaze, it was like, Stevie had made it. He made it clear. He said, "Yeah, man." Diddy was like, "Man, be careful hanging with you, man." He said,
"Why?"
Because I was a wild guy back then. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, I was not in a bad sense. I was just a fast moving. I had a big crew. We was just some wild kids from Boston that grew up gang banging and selling drugs. And once we started hitting with the Source and music and everything, it just was like a whole new world for us. And me and Stevie hit it off. Came to Atlanta, and then he said him and Mimi was gonna do something called Love and Hip Hop.
Okay.
I was like, Love and Hip Hop? What the fuck is that? And I was like, that's the thing that Jim Jones and Chrissy did?
Yeah, because that was the first.
Jim and Chrissy were the first.
From New York. Yeah. And then it went to Atlanta.
Then it went where? Then it went everywhere.
Atlanta,
everywhere.
Miami.
The moon. They Love and Hip Hop, the moon.
What?
The motherfuckers is everywhere now.
Right.
Like, no, but you got to give, so when I did it, I just was a private person. Like I told you, I always was private about my relationships with women. And so I didn't really understand it, but me and Stevie were staying together because I guess him and Mimi had gotten to something in real life. So when I came up here, I think the second day I'm picking him up at Mimi's.
Oh, wow.
And we staying in the crib. It was just me and him.
Yeah.
All while we're staying in the crib, he went and casted for it.
Oh, okay. So how did you get involved in it? Because it's like, boom.
Because I was just bringing him to the set. You know what I'm saying? I bring him to the set and I chill and wait for him because his license was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, me and Sleaze, when we driving, we always, man, like I done crashed a bunch of cars, he done crashed a bunch of cars. Like we a lot alike. And at this point, sometimes my license fucked up, he drive me. At this point, it was him. So I'd be driving to set. And then after set, I remember he introduced me to Jocelyn when I came to Atlanta.
Puerto Rican princess.
Mimi had just kind of like, he still loved Mimi, but he had, we were staying together because he was staying with Mimi. So I went to Atlantic Station. He introduced me to Jocelyn. You know what I'm saying? And I had knew Jocelyn.
Oh, okay.
From Miami.
That's where she was originally from, Miami?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew Jocelyn. You know what I'm saying? Jocelyn used to dance at the Rolex. I don't
know nothing about it.
Yeah, well, the Rolex is like the Rolex Cocos. Those was like one of the real early strip clubs of Miami, like the hood joints. You know what I'm saying? On 119. So I just remember like when I seen her, look, I remember he called me, said he got the next Puerto Rican Nicki Minaj. So when I finally, I'm in Miami, he's called me from Atlanta. So when I went up there and he showed me her, I remember going to Atlanta Station, meeting her. I remember picking him up from Mimi's with all his guitar, all his bags. And then, so this was happening. Then he told me he was doing this love and hip hop thing. But this was all happening in real life. Like
Oh, wow.
He was really down there working out with Jocelyn. He said he's gonna make her a rap star. And him and Mimi they had the baby. And he was just,
So all this stuff was true.
this was all happening with no love and hip hop. Because I didn't even know what love and hip hop was or anything. And then I remember one day he came to the crib because we were staying together. He was like, yo, he's like, I'm doing something with Mimi, love and hip hop and Mona. I was like, word? I was like, all right. His thing was, man, I want to bring Jocelyn on. I'm like, well, how you gonna do that?
Right, because you're gonna be able to see on TV when
Mimi
it
didn't know about Jocelyn in real life.
Oh, wow.
See, Stevie really, really popped love and hip hop on because he brought that situation that had never been done before on any reality show.
And that's all I remember.
Ever.
All
so
the time.
he was like, so we'd be at the crib and he'd be like, yeah, I want to bring her on. He had that look, because he do that look in real. Now all that shit you see that
It's real.
He's like, yeah, I'm like, yo, you a wild. He's like, yes. So he'd always ask my little advice, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm older. So I'm like, look, I don't know how you're gonna do it. I didn't have advice for that. I was like,
no, that's right.
Like, how the fuck is you gonna bring her on? And she's gonna, they're gonna see the episodes, right? He's like, oh, everything's gonna be cool. Because he wanted to get back with Mimi, but he didn't want to let Jocelyn go.
Right.
Just had the baby with Mimi. Mimi's older and she's not in that kind of like club stripping life like Jocelyn. It's a different world. It's a different world.
Mimi.
You know what I'm saying? Mimi's like California. You know what I mean? Like chill.
Classy.
Real chill. Yeah. So Jocelyn was the spark, and Stevie, he loved sparks. He loved the.
I like Jocelyn too. She is funny.
So he brought it on, and they actually found out about each other on Love and Hip Hop. I was like, damn, I could not fucking believe it. I was watching this shit but he was taking his lumps. Like that shit wasn't easy. He was trying to make it work with both, but he just couldn't come to the grips that I'm gonna have to choose. And now that everybody's TV stars now, it's even worse because the world's looking. So now the chicks are like, which one is it gonna be? It ain't gonna be all three. See, he wanted, he wanted the poly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know what he was trying to do. He didn't even know what poly was. I don't even think, I knew what monogamous was, but ain't that something I didn't know what poly was? I heard poly when I got to Atlanta. What the fuck is poly? Polyester? Poly.
Right.
I didn't know what poly was. So he wanted, now in retrospect, I'm looking like, damn, he really wanted that. You know what I mean? But they wasn't with it at all. You know what I'm saying? So I just was like with him, picking him up. And then one day they was like, because he had the mic on. And I guess he forgot he had the mic on. So he's like, he had just came from a scene where I guess he got cursed out, because a lot of the early scenes was just him either get cursed out by me, cursed out by Jocelyn. He was trying to make it work, but it was hard in real life. So I was like, look, why don't you do this? And I'm trying to tell him, I was like, man, I said, you got to pick one. I said, as hard as it is, you got to pick one. I said, you don't know how to be monogamous? And that was like my first scene. When we was driving, I was like, say monogamous.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that.
Because they came, because he was sitting in the car, we smoking weed in the parking lot. I'm waiting for him to get up so we could go home. And he came and then they heard, it was like, yo, can you tell him that on camera?
Oh wow.
I was like, I don't care.
So that's when you came
That's
about
when I came.
In the hot tub and all that.
No, the hot tub came later. The first, it was like, that's when, I met Carly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, me and Carly started dating off camera. And, it was like, I didn't want to do that. See, I wasn't with it. I'm watching Stevie and all this shit he going through. I'm like, and when I got to Atlanta, it was like, I was dating, I was just getting in the dating scene, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm not with this, because I know what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to railroad you. They're gonna try to call it and bring some other girl on. I said, I'm not with none of that. I said, chicks never fought over me in real life. Like I was pretty respectable, and I don't want to say this because I know how it sounds, but within my cheating, that I was cheating, at the time I was a cheater, I was respectable. The women not finding out about each other so anybody could be hurt. So I put an extra effort on really trying to, maneuver so that nobody feelings get hurt because I got a conscience. I'm a Cancer, I care. So, and I was pretty good at it. You know what I'm saying? Didn't make it right. I'm not.
We all make mistakes.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I didn't make it right. You know what I'm saying? But I lived and learned because karma hits you.
Yes, you do. You do.
Karma.
So, I mean, you've been, like you said, you started with the Source, then the Love and Hip Hop and all that. But in between time, you were still juggling fatherhood.
Yeah.
So,
Fatherhood.
I want to speak on that too, like with you and your daughter, what's
Koi.
going on. Yes,
Koi
Koi.
the Red.
Yes, she's so beautiful.
I appreciate it. Well,
Yes.
I have 4 children. Okay. And actually 5 because the woman I'm with now, actually her son Samaj, that's my
Okay,
boy.
I know that's right.
Damn right. You know what I'm saying? So I got 5 kids. And my oldest son, Ray is 31.
Okay.
He just had a baby 2 months after Koi had her baby.
Oh, okay.
All right. Koi's 27, 28 maybe. It's hard to remember all the age. Okay.
Right.
Taj is 21, 22. It's 22. And Zeno is 10.
Oh, okay.
And Samaj is 14. So, also Koi had 2 older brothers, her mom that I helped raise, Kwame and Monty,
Okay.
when I was with Koi's mother. And I love kids. I'm good with kids. I think I'm not gonna say great. I just think I'm a good parent because I come with old school values. I think the old school value parents will always be the best parents to me.
Yes.
Because people don't understand, like, there's a separation that you have to put with kids that to know that they're not your peers or they're not,
they're not your friends.
hip hop. I mean, they could be your friends. They're just not your peers. Like hip hop has made it to where these kids think that we're their peers, where everybody is wearing the same clothes, listening to the same music, going to the same clubs, eating the same food. It wasn't like that when I grew up. It was a big distance when I looked at my father and what he did and how he did from where I was, and I respected it. There was a gap. There's no gap now. If there's no gap, there's no respect. If there's a gap, there's respect.
Right.
Because you know what you have to do to reach that. You're looking like, I want to be that. I want to do that one day when I get. There's not that now. See, if they don't look at us as that, and if there's no gap, then there's no respect. And not from a mean standpoint. It doesn't always have to be mean disrespect, but it's just disrespect on who you are and what you've known and your time on this earth and the sacrifices you had to make just for them. So there's no gap right now. And I just feel like me being an older parent, I was always stern on certain shit. I'm going to spoil you to death.
Right.
But when you fuck up even a little bit, I'm going to say something every time. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm not a physical parent where I've never put hands on any of my kids ever. But I'm a screamer, and I'm a demander, you know what I'm saying? So, but I know how to also be, to talk with them with a respect of them being my kids and me trying to give them their own kind of rope. You know what I'm saying? To, be an adult and but if you mess up, I'm gonna tell you about it every time. So, and there's things that I know you've seen me done, and I know I don't want to be a hypocrite, but I'm saying, like, if I smoke weed, that don't mean I want you smoking weed at 16.
Right.
Even 17. And after a while, I'm not gonna be able to have a say because you're an adult. But when you're 15, 16, like, nah, there's no weed, and there's not gonna be no boys, and there's not gonna, I came from that.
So how do you feel about the person that she's dating now?
I don't know him.
You don't know him?
And I don't feel, because see, and I would, even if Corey wasn't famous, depending on who the guy is in his background is going to depend on if I want to interact with him.
Right.
That's my choice, I'm going to I would give her my standpoint of how I see it, right? But I'm a great judge of character. There's nothing that can get by me. There's no finesse. There's no, you're gonna play this way, but you're really this way. It just, nothing can. I've been around too long and too much and experienced way too much. So that's a great thing. I could, and sometimes I feel like I could see through walls, man. Like I have these intuitions that are right. And when it comes to guys, you know what I'm saying? I just want to see, first of all, how long it's going to last. So, you know, if it's going to last long, then, he's in it for the long run.
Right.
And then second of all, how he treats her, because, I'm going to be of high standard.
I get it, because it's your child, and that's how we always are
Of
with our
high
kids.
standard, man. And I'm going to admit right now, and I hate this because it's almost different with my boys with the women. I don't hold that same type of, but I'm admitting it. It's just how I grew up with my dad and mom, and it's the girl. I'm going to be that much more because I feel like I have to be that much more protective.
Right.
So
I get it. So what is the biggest lesson that you would want your children to learn from your journey?
To manage their money right. The greatest thing that I'm proud of all of them, well, especially Ray, Koy, and Taj, man. They all work, man.
That's
they
good.
work and they're financially independent. And they don't have police records.
That's great. Especially for your boys, because this day and age, like.
No records, man. Very respectable when they're around people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so proud of all of them, and they're financially independent. Like, what more could a father would want with that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
clean criminal record for men.
Yeah.
That's hard, especially with how things are now.
I'm so proud of it, man. Ray and Taj, man. And Ray just had a baby, and he takes care of the baby. He has his own spot. He has his girl. He has his dogs.
How old is his baby?
4 months.
Okay.
Because Mayoko's is 6 months.
Okay.
Ray's 4 months. So I'm a grandfather at 60, a girl and a boy.
Oh, okay. Both, best of both worlds.
Braylon, and Mayoko.
Oh, okay. So what does emotional growth look like for men in the hip hop today?
Oh man, great question. I think it's just not good. It's not good because it's a hip hop has to do with a lot of ego, man. And from the beginning of time of rapping, right? You're rapping, everything really was based on ego.
Yes.
Everything's based on you and your swag and I'm better than you and I overdo it. That's what hip hop is based on when you really look at it. So it creates ego. And if you're not in control of it, it could be to your demise.
Because it used to be, what is it, the battle rapping or something, right?
Yeah, that's how hip hop started.
With the battle rapping.
Let's go.
Yes. Well, look, with that being said, before I close it out, is there any way you can give us a freestyle?
Blast off. Testarossas and Kawasaki. Karate Kid doors unveiling the Maserati. We never posting pictures, we dodging the paparazzi. On the road to riches, we screaming, no one can stop me in the left lane, doing my thing. I'm on that headband, OG, tropical cheese, and sour D's. Such a beautiful moment, no one can body me. Just get your money and maybe you'll get a shot at me. Cause at this very moment, I'm feeling like I'm invincible, showing my opponent that Benzino was just a lyrical underground backpack niggas and battle rappers. Travel around the world from Germany to Damascus. Met a lot of girls but won't fuck with another actress. Climbing out the ladders, elevators, and escalators.
Good. Well, listen, thank y'all for tuning in to the Conversations Lounge podcast in Atlanta. Stay tuned. See you soon.